So, episode 13 of the final season of The Walking Dead is now out. It is titled Warlords, and if you haven't seen this episode yet and you don't want to get spoiled for you, do not listen to this review because this review is going to contain full spoilers for the episode. You've been warned. So this episode picks up in the hilltop. We see Lydia is now planning on leaving the hilltop. It's been quite some time since we last seen the hilltop in episode 12, but a lot of people since then have been coming and going to hilltop. As we know, Diana left in episode 12, and a lot of people have left since then. Even the guy who, for the life of me, I don't think I'm ever going to remember his name. I think it's Elliot. Elijah, I don't know. But the guy who was with Maggie, him and Lydia clearly have something going on. He's like, I'll walk you to the Commonwealth outpost that all our people go to join the Commonwealth, and we will take you from there. So they start to leave. Well, Lydia starts to leave, and then some guy comes rushing around on horseback, just drenched in blood. He falls off his horse, hands Lydia something, and then he dies. And you're sitting there going, what the hell is this? No idea who the guy was. My guess was he was a member of the community that Negan was part of, because I predicted that the community we saw in the trailer was actually Negan's community, because I thought, okay, episode 9 was the last time we saw him. It's episode 13. It's about time we see Negan again. And I figured Negan was with a different community, a different group. So, of course, Negan was with this group, but I figured he was a member of that group rather than a member of the Commonwealth. So then Maggie, Elijah, Lydia, and I feel like that's it. Yeah, it's just a three of them. They all start to make their way following where this guy came from, because he gave them a map. Of course, Maggie's against it at first. She goes, we don't know this people. We are undergunned, understaffed, under everything. So she goes, it's not really worth our time to go out there. But they decide to go out there in the end. And they're in the car. And Lydia and Elijah are asking Maggie why she turned down the Commonwealth, and it shows a story about her dad, about how her dad, these big farm corporations offered to buy the land. He didn't want it. He knew that it was going to come back around. Something was wrong with the farm. He knew it was going to come back around, so he kept turning them down. They kept leaving food on the doorstep of the house, and they just let it rot. They wouldn't use it. And Maggie was talking about that story in relation to Hilltop and Commonwealth, and made sense from Maggie's point of view. Of course, anything with her dad, of course she's going to follow her dad. Her dad's someone who taught her who to be, who she is, and you can understand why that story, because it's very, very similar to what's going on with them at the moment. Of course, you understand why she's then following that as a guideline of what not to do with the Commonwealth. Completely makes sense. Even she says that the Commonwealth hasn't been tested. They've been on the road for 12 years, I think now, our group. Like, they've had communities, they've been safe, but they've never been fully safe the entire 12 years. They've always been tested over the last 12 years. But she says Commonwealth has never been tested, so it's going to happen sooner or later. She says, I'd rather not be part of it when it does get tested. So that, again, it makes complete sense. But you can see the generation gap between Maggie and Lydia and Elijah, where Maggie's thinking of the future, where they're just thinking of the now, and you can tell it by them that they're just thinking, we're hungry now, we're cold now, and she's thinking, yeah, we're cold now, but we won't be in the future. Hilltop was a fantastic place before, and we will get there again. And it's just, you can see both point of views, and it's just, you can see, as of right now, I can see Lydia and Elijah's point of view more, just because there's no one at the hilltop. Everyone's leaving the hilltop. So if everyone leaves the hilltop's gonna fall unless you join up with the Commonwealth, because the hilltop at the moment, it's nothing to write home about. It's still burnt to bits, and the all the members and the community it's gone. A lot of people have left, so there comes a certain point where you've gotta give in, and it's getting there from Maggie, because the hilltop is not gonna last if there's a war between anybody. And then as they are driving to wherever they were going, they come across 3 or 4 dead Commonwealth soldiers. Now, we never really got an answer to who killed these, because throughout the episode we see everything go down, but we don't know how these ones got here. So I'm assuming these ones, unless it was answered in the episodes, and I just missed it. I think these are the ones that had the that were bringing the delivery guys. I assume these were the delivery guys, because we found out that everything happened with this guy Toby, because he was sent here by Lance, because a bunch of delivery guys and a bunch of their stock had been taken away. We never found out who took it, where it is or what happened to the soldiers. So I'm assuming these four were the soldiers. But as Maggie and the group are looking down and thinking, what the hell happened here? You see someone running in the distance. Of course, it's Aaron. Aaron's one of my favourite characters. I really enjoy Aaron, so it's great that he's getting so much screen time now, because in the first half of season 11 he was barely there. Even in season 10 he was there, but he wasn't really forefront, so it's really great to see Aaron being a really forefront character now. Even like, for me, he's like the leader of Alexandria, especially in episode 12 when he was showing Pamela Milton around. He just reminded me of Comic Rick so much, and to me he is just the leader of Alexandria, and it's great to see Aaron actually do that. But when he comes up to Aaron, they do a full 1 week before flashback, and then we get to see Gabriel doing a service in the Commonwealth, and he says it himself, what he was saying wasn't bullshit. He has found God again. And Gabriel kind of does this a lot. He kind of goes back and forth saying, oh, I found God again, I've lost God, I found God, I lost God. It depends. When Gabriel has to go out into the world, he loses his faith in humanity, he loses his faith in God. But when he's stuck in a community, when he's able to just live a normal life like he did before the apocalypse, he finds God again. Same thing happened, he started to lose faith in season 5. They got to Alexandria. Then he was happy out. He was kind of in season 6 when he killed the guy. He was kind of all over the place. Then the Whisperer, or the Savior War, didn't really have his faith then, because they were at war. Then they were safe for 5 years. He was a priest again. Then when it came to the Whisperers, and then up until now, lost his faith. When he's at peace again, he has found his faith again. By the end of the episode, I think the guy has lost his faith once again. But Gabriel, or Aaron, goes up to Gabriel saying, we found this community, this big community of 40 people. My job now with the Commonwealth is to go to communities and bring them in like I did before with you guys. And he goes, this is a religious group, I'd really appreciate it if you're there. And Gabriel and Aaron is a group of people that I would never have put together prior to, I think they first started doing stuff in the bonus episodes of season 10, but they're a pair I never would have put together. But now I really like seeing them together. They've got great chemistry together. They seem like they have been friends for 10 years or however long they've been together, and I really like that they did pair them together here once again. But they do go to the community. They go to with this guy Toby, who's a bit of an odd person, and Gabriel then takes off his collar because he realizes this is kind of a setup. We're not going to walk in here. I'm not walking in with my collar. So he goes on, and the community invites them in, which is something I was surprised by. They come out, this bald woman comes out with like a Reaper spear she had. It was quite cool, but also, how the fuck do you kill a walker with that? That doesn't look good enough to kill a walker. But anyway, she walks in, she walks out, and she invites them all in. They go through the community and they come into an office where their leader is sitting there, and the leader reminded me of the governor a bit from season 3, mostly because the governor had a fish tank full of walker heads. This guy's got a bookcase full of skulls, and it was odd. The guy was not giving them anything. He was saying how in the past people have come to them offering them sanctuary, but then they just waited for everyone to get outside. Then they start picking them off one by one, killing them, and he's afraid of this happening again. So he holds a gun up to everyone's face. He's shouting at them, saying, "Sure, give me answers, give me answers." Aaron pulls out an iPhone 4 and shows them photos of the Commonwealth. I thought that was pretty cool. But then the guy's going ballistic, and then he's pointing the gun at the kid in the background, who I never caught his name. And then Toby stands up and becomes quite a badass, killing everyone in the room except for, of course, our group and leader. And then it's revealed in a flashback that Lance sent him here because not for them to join their community, but because they stole the supplies, and Lance wants them back because he doesn't want Pamela Milton to know he lost supplies. And this guy Toby isn't just some ordinary guy, because at one point the leader was pointing the gun at his face and he's bawling his eyes out crying. Toby's not an ordinary guy. Tony's a trained CIA what do they call them? What's it called? When you kill people for a living, whatever that's called. So after all this, Toby then leaves the room to go and kill whoever else threatens him and whoever else he thinks is connected to stealing from the Commonwealth. At this point, Toby goes a bit insane. You can tell. He even says earlier in the episode to Lance, "Oh no, I've been sober 4 years," but then you see him throughout the episode putting a little bit of alcohol on his finger and rubbing it all over his teeth. You can see the guy starting to go insane. And because of that, Gabriel punches him in the face. So then Gabriel gets handcuffed, the leader gets killed by Toby, and then the guy who we saw run up to the Commonwealth, or runs up to the hilltop, gets on a horse and starts to run away, but then a Commonwealth soldier shoots him on the side, and then in retaliation, Aaron kills the guy. He punches him in the face with the hand with the spike, then killing the Commonwealth soldier. So because of that, Toby is then getting ready to kill Aaron, but he has no bullets. So he shoots, has no bullets, so Aaron then gets away because the Toby then goes, because then all you hear from inside is a shout saying they're dead. So then Toby runs in to see that Gabriel's gone, Commonwealth soldiers are dead. So then Aaron uses the opportunity to run away. I'm sitting there thinking, fuck, how the fuck did Gabriel get out of what he got out of and then killed a Commonwealth soldier? I didn't buy it. But then I quickly went to, while all this was happening, that kid ran off somewhere and he was given a map by Negan that circled the hilltop. So I was expecting Negan to be part of this group, and he was part of this group. He was with some woman. At first I thought it was just him and this woman who were just living out there by himself, but then also it's revealed that he was part of the group. But so then Negan and the girl go into the building, and then they are the ones who killed the Commonwealth soldiers, so Gabriel gets away. So then Negan, the woman who I didn't get her name, and Gabriel are now inside the building. They're back with the rest of the community. Well, the community in there is now split into different parts and they're all trying to get away. But Negan's in there with Gabriel. Aaron has ran off. He has found Maggie. So Maggie and Aaron are inside the building. Gabriel's with Negan. Maggie and Negan haven't seen each other. At this point, I think it's about 3 or 4 months since they've seen each other. Negan doesn't know anything about all this Commonwealth stuff. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in episode 14. I imagine episode 14 is going to pick up exactly where episode 13 left off. Maggie and Negan are going to reunite in this episode, and I imagine it won't be as hostile as you would expect it to be, just purely because Negan saved Gabriel. Gabriel's going to be like, he saved me, I'd be dead if it wasn't for him. So I imagine Maggie's not going to be as on him as she would in the past. But you can see that this group never sold the weapons. So who stole the weapons? Who stole everything? Because Toby brings people up to the roof. He's wearing Commonwealth soldier armor now at this point, and he's bringing people up to the roof. He's talking to them saying, where's all my stuff? And after not giving him an answer he doesn't like, he's throwing them off the roof. I'd be shocked if I actually found out that this group was the group that stole his stuff. I imagine that it was either some other group, or it's just a big massive walker herd came in. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm excited. It's mad that we only have 3 episodes left in the part 2, and then we're into part 3, which is very, very sad. We are now in the back half of the final season. All very, very sad, because I really don't want the show to be over. But part 2 has been a lot better than part 1. Not saying part 1 was bad. I enjoyed part 1, but so far I am enjoying part 2 just that little bit more. But if you want to hear my thoughts on episode 14, make sure you click the subscribe button so you can come back and hear it. And as always, thanks for watching.